Joining me as my co-host today, Carrie Kasem. Great to have you back.
So nice to be back.
And joining us right now, we do a segment every Friday at 7:30 called Tech News with Kevin Richards. And good to have you in studio.
Always love to be with you.
And today you're in studio instead of on the phone. How cool is that?
It's cool. I'm going to sound a little bit better.
Yeah, a little closer to the mic there, you'd be great. So you met Carrie. Carrie met Kevin.
Oh,
Carrie?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about this real quickly. The Google recently reported a Gmail user to the Houston police for suspected child porn. So clearly, you mean Google is reading our emails, like Gmails? Yes.
What?
This is
No.
Well, a lot of emails to read.
Be careful what you put out there, right? So, it's a question of is it okay that Google is scanning these emails and getting this information? And that's really a question that you have to decide. We've talked about this a lot. We've talked about the fact that nothing you do on the internet is private. Although there is definitely some...
Remember that, Carrie?
Now, there's definitely a movement towards making things more secure. Google and Yahoo are actually working together on improving their email encryption. So the theory with that is once they actually have that even they won't be able to go in there and read the emails. But whether or not you believe that may be a different story.
Oh, come on. The minute do you remember this before the interweb came out? Do you remember the internet was going to be like, it was the mark of the beast? Do you remember that? If you get on the web, this was going on before the internet even happened, that they're going to know everything about you. Look at Google Maps. They drive by your house and take pictures, 360 pictures from the air and from a car. If you get on the internet, people are looking at you and they're monitoring you, period. And if you don't think Big Brother is watching, if you don't think we live in an Orwellian society right now, today, you're out of your mind.
Oh yeah, we're already there. There's no doubt about it, and this proves it. The trick this guy was using is he thought that if he stored the images in his email, that nobody would see it. It wasn't on his own devices. It wasn't in his home per se. It was in the cloud. And he thought that...
Oh, great. Everybody can go to the cloud.
Right. So he thought that he could get away with it by hiding it there. Unfortunately, that's not how Google works. Google did release that whenever something is sent, received, or stored, it goes through their scanning filters, and then there's a double check with actual human who looks at whatever's been flagged.
Oh, that's
so great. That's how they found it. And clearly, I mean, if you build a system on the internet, you need to be able to go in there and look at the emails. You need to be able to look at what's going on your system to figure out what's wrong with it. So for them to ever say, "Oh no, we don't read emails," that's just not true.
They lie, right?
Well, I think at this point now they're coming out saying that, yes, we do scan through things. We do search through things. I mean, China wouldn't let them in. Do you remember that?
That's right.
Because of the fact that they do that. Because they monitor everything.
Boy, it is amazing. All right, let's head on over to this, too. A hotel charges guests $500 if they or their wedding guests post a bad review on Yelp. You've got to be kidding me.
No, this
Yeah, good.
This is happening over in New York. It's in 1830. This little hotel was built, and who's ever running it has destroyed them because they actually put on their website, if any of you may like the hotel, but if any of your guests don't and they leave a bad review, your $500 deposit that you've left for your wedding will be gone until that review's taken down.
Really? You and your little dog, too.
You and your little dog, too.
That's right. Wow, it's incredible. I can't believe that.
Right.
That little bit thin skin there, huh?
Backlash, though.
They try to justify it, and they say that, we have an older facility. It's intended to be vintage, and if your guests don't understand that, if you don't do a good enough job explaining that to them up front, and your guests write a bad review, we're just simply trying to protect our name. So, unfortunately, all the Yelpers of the world all gathered together, and they all started giving them, 1-star reviews and writing how terrible of a place it was.
Ooh.
One user even... They created their screen name. They called themselves Hitler, and then they gave him a 5-star review and said it was a wonderful place.
And this is so funny, though. Such a huge backlash. And you know what the hotel came out and said?
Uh-huh.
Oh, we put that on that we're joking. It was a joke.
Yeah, right.
But then people started coming out with the emails saying, oh, really? It's a joke? They charged me $500. Here's what I wrote back to them. And they were putting out the emails that the hotel had sent.
When places are older like that, and they're going to have issues. I mean, we stayed at the Madonna Inn once in Central California, and it was nice. But people, I've seen, reviews come on about Madonna Inn.
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know, Madonna Inn has all these different theme rooms, including the cave. It's like Fred and Wilma Flintstone in there, and the water comes down in the shower. It's weird. we stayed there one night.
Oh, Lord. I'm sure you and Rhoda had a lot of fun.
Chase each other around the room. It was the whole story. But it was fun. But I've seen all kinds of reviews on that as well. You know, people say good and bad things. When a place is older, you're going to get, you know, mixed reviews like
Sure.
that. All right. So, all right. We'll come on back. Something else I want to talk about in a moment, because a lot of passwords and email addresses have been compromised by Russian hackers. I want to find out about that and how we prevent something like that. Carrie Kasem is co-hosting with me today, and in here for a lot of reasons, including the big Nevada Broadcast Association gala going on tomorrow night, where your father is going to be recognized, and you're here with your boyfriend Jesse Cove, and it's great having you guys here. Kevin Richards, Tech News. You can find him at Ventura Web Design. Of course, go to allenstock.com, click on that icon on the right side of the page, and you'll get a hold of Ventura Web Design and talk directly to Kevin Richards, the CEO and owner of Ventura Web Design. And by way of disclosure, they developed my website that looks so great. So thank you for that.
And what an amazing site it is.
It is, absolutely. All right, here's what I'm concerned about. Before we get over to the pet pick, more than 1.2 billion passwords, 500 million email addresses compromised by Russian hackers recently. Should we be worried?
You know, it's one of those things where you've got to decide what's important for you to protect. You know, do you protect your email? Do you protect your banking account? Do you use the same level of security that you would when maybe you're just commenting on a newspaper's website and putting up the comments and that requires you to log in there? You've got to decide how you're going to manage your own security, because it's certainly impossible to, if you follow all the password guidelines, it's impossible to remember them. You're not supposed to write them down. You know, you have all these rules in front of you to keep yourself secure, and you end up just making it way too difficult to even use the computer at that point. So what we recommend is you develop one password that is for your banking, that's for your really important secure stuff.
Okay.
And then you come up with another one that is what you use at less secure sites, places you don't care so much about. It's a way to keep it easy.
If you're going to a news site maybe or something like that, as
Exactly.
opposed to banking or anything that's significant like that.
Or especially if you think you're never going to come back to the website again, but it requires you to register, go ahead and put in that generic password.
All right, real quick, I just wanted to tell you, so as an update, I did this earlier this morning also, that my computer,
Yes, the Apple.
I took it in on Sunday. We downloaded everything into the hard drive backup, and then they checked it out, corrupted hard drive.
Really?
So yesterday I picked it up, and they fixed the screen because there was schmutz in the screen and stuff like that too, and everything, brand new hard drive. Brought it home, called Apple Care. Get Apple Care when you get your iMac, and they walked me right through it.
Yeah.
Bam, bam. And I'm telling you, it's flying now. It's as good or better than it ever was.
What about the airport time capsule? Did you grab that too?
Oh, yeah. That's what I used to back everything up on.
Good.
Absolutely. And so it's working like a charm.
I wish I would have done that to mine. Mine got stolen out of my car. My fault. I left my car door open. Somebody opened the door, grabbed it. I didn't have anything on a cloud or anything stored. So there goes all of our pictures. Alan, thank God you have some from.
I've got pictures.
Yeah.
Of us, that's right, at the Talkers Convention, and running around beating each other with bats and
At
stuff
the
like
UN
that.
in
In the UN, that's you remember
in New
that?
York,
Yes.
where we were in the UN
here we
doing
go.
radio broadcast, and he kept saying, "We're at the UN. We're in the belly of the beast. We're like in the UN. There's people that work there, and he kept calling it. We're in. It's Alan Stock and Carrie Kasem. We're in the belly of the beast.
But it was true. It was true. We were in evil land, or the UN.
Right.
But we were there.
We got some good pictures, though. I came across them yesterday when I was going through all the pictures. I said, Carrie's going to love these. All right, Kevin at Ventura Web Design, Kevin Richards. And, of course, again, you can catch Kevin by going to allenstock.com. On the right-hand side of the page, go to the Ventura Web Design logo, click onto that, and you'll see, first of all, how great my page is, and then Kevin will be able to help you out, too. If you've got a small business of some kind and you need your help with a website or internet marketing, get in touch with Kevin, and he will be glad to help you out. Ventura Web Design. We'll do it again next week. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks, Alan.